Hello and welcome everyone in another episode of Researcher Celebrity. Today seems like is the day when we have started this initiative is bearing the fruit. We are blessed to have Padma Shri Professor P.K. Rajagopalan with us, and he is the person who don't need any introduction, but just following the rituals of Researcher Celebrity. A brief about Sir. Sir has done his bachelor's from BHU, then master's in zoology, and he got fellowship from Rockefeller Foundation for pursuing masters in public health also, which he did at UC Berkeley. He came back to India and then did his PhD in Pune University. He is the founder director of VCRC Pondicherry. The people who know anything about vector control, he is the person who laid the foundation of it. There are so many awards and accreditations which are under Sir's name. Few of them are like P.N. Raju Oration Award from ICMR, Om Prakash Bhasin Award for Science and Technology, Gold Medal at Charles University Prague, and elected Fellow of Royal Society of Biology, Royal Society of Tropical Medicine. With this, welcome, sir, at this platform and blessing Researcher Celebrity being present here.
Thank you.
So, sir, the first thing what we want to ask from you is how like normally we ask like when and you decided want to be a researcher, but with you, I want to ask that at the time when India was preparing for the independence, you thought that you want to pursue research. How that idea came?
Well, in those days, we did not have much choice. You see, I passed my MSc in 1950, and even jobs were there. There were very few universities even there. Research is practically unheard of. The first research organization was founded by Sir Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar. He founded the Indian Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. Before that, there was one Indian Research Fund Association, which was financing medical research by giving grants. And that led to the foundation for formation of the Indian Council of Medical Research. And the VCRC, the Virus Research Center, it was called at that time, was the second institute after National Institute of Nutrition in Hyderabad. And I was one of the first employees to join there in 1952, after fresh from MSc. I tried to do so-called research. I will say so-called research. They are not the same as present-day equipment and all those things. It used to take 8 years, 9 years, and all those business. There is a lot of corruption. So many things are problem. We were all looking for an exit. We were using research only as a waiting room. And then when the Virus Research Center was formed, I went there, and you'll be surprised. The first question they asked was, well, the Director General of the Indian Council of Medical Research, Dr. C.G. Pandit, was there in the interview board, plus Austin Kerr of the Rockefeller Foundation. He was the founder of the Virus Research Center in Pune. And the Surgeon General and all those things. They asked me, what is your name, what qualification? You know, I had passed MSc first class, first rank in the university in those days. 2 years of wasted my life as a research student, as a manpower research scheme, central government's 2 years. Then I was looking for an exit, and this was the exit I got. I was asked I had in the meanwhile, while doing research there, I used to attend many interviews. In many interviews, I used to be rejected because of my size. I was a puny-sized fellow. People like in UP, Aligarh, and you can imagine what kind of a hefty fellows. And finally, I got a college, Shia College in Lucknow. I got a job as a lecturer. The day I went there, I found the students were all 2 or 3 times my size. They were all the Shias, Muslims and all those in the Lucknow. I ran away from there also. And then I attended the interview. One of the questions they asked me was, by that time, I was already frustrated with life, to tell you. They asked me, what do you know about malaria? I said, well, malaria is transmitted by mosquitoes. Anopheles mosquito transmitter. What else do you know about malaria? They wanted me to talk many things about malaria. I told them, sir, tell me which university in India teaches malaria.
Sweet.
I have studied evolution of the horse, evolution of the elephant. These were all the courses I studied in MSc in zoology. I have studied structural entomology of how many legs a mosquito has got and this kind of thing. No epidemiology of anything like that. Then Dr. Pandit, he said, young man, you have come for a job and you have been very rude. Thank you very much. But Dr. Austin Kerr said, please wait. Please wait outside, don't go. After all interviews over, I was called back again. And Dr. Austin Kerr said, you were the only frank, honest student who answered the questions truly. I know about all these things. You have been appointed. From that day onwards, my good days started. I started working very hard. I was appointed as a research assistant. That is class 3 or something like that. On 160 rupees salary with 15 rupees cycle allowance because I can have to go and collect mosquitoes. That is how I started my career. But the guidance from Rockefeller Foundation was wonderful. That made me a scientist.
So, sir, starting from, it's not about the fellowship or the money or about the things, but you started as mosquito collector. And
yes,
when you founded the VCRC, Vector Control Research Center, this short journey, now we can say short because you have passed, God bless you with all the, you will be a sanitarian soon. So how that journey went from that first appointment as research assistant to the director of VCRC?
Under the Rockefeller Foundation, you are always encouraged to do field work. You see, and we were very much encouraged to do the field work. Though we were all ICMR employees on ICMR rates of salary, TA, DA, and all those things, the Rockefeller Foundation used to fund all our expenses, actual expenses. So that gave also one of the incentive. These days, people go there, stay somewhere, don't do any work, and then come back. But I was appointed in Vellore when the Japanese encephalitis broke out as entomologist there. That was an interest. We are supposed to find out what is the vector. Daily collect mosquitoes, night come, grind them and inoculate into mice until the virus is isolated. I incriminated for the first time in India that Culex vishnui is the vector of Japanese encephalitis. I will say Culex vishnui complex because it's a complex of vishnui, pseudo vishnui, and Tritonurringus. Even the taxonomical status was not very well known. And do you know what happened when the first virus isolation came and I informed my director? My director, at that time, 1954, he sent me 500 rupees for a party for all the staff. Can you ever imagine this happening in any government of India institutions? That was an incentive for me. You do work, you get rewarded. And though I was a research assistant, there were 3 assistant research officers higher rank, but they were administratively under me. You are the person we want. They told Dr. Pandit, ICMR Director General. So it was a fantastic. From there, I went on traveling either. And one instance, how nice they are, I will tell you, little personal if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
I went to Akivudu. That is where continuing my studies on Japanese encephalitis. The reservoirs are birds, ornate birds. They are supposed to bring the virus from Japan and East Asia, from where they have been recovered, and they should nest there. And I was doing a wonderful work there because I found out from adult birds to fledgling birds in the nest, the transmitting agent is lialeptid mites. And from birds, it went to pigs, and epidemiology is a little tough like a thing. But my work was so much appreciated by Dr. Vark. When my mother wrote me a letter, my father is having pleurisy in my Kerala village. I requested for leave. Dr. Vark said, his name was Telford Work. He literally work. He said, no leave. You are doing such good work. I said, the question of my work as well as my father. So I resigned my job, went home, brought my father to Christian Medical College, Vellore, admitted him, and I was there thinking about my next job. What will I do? Where will I go? And all that. Within 15 days, Dr. Work came to Vellore Hospital. And then he met me, and then he said, well, enjoy your tour. He used the word tour. Your entire absence from the work is treated as on duty. On duty. And you are also going to get daily allowance for this work. Consider it as a tour. Where can you get this kind of an encouragement for one who does all the work like that? Absolutely. From that day, I never looked back. I never bothered about my promotion. And when I wanted to do PhD, they said, okay, you go to Berkeley, in the University of California, which is a center for virus encephalitis, Western equine encephalitis. They were having it. You go there and study Master of Public Health under Reeves, University of California in Berkeley. But sir, I would like to do PhD. He said, the hell with your PhD. You can take a bloody PhD anytime in India, but you cannot get an MPH. Yeah. Go there. And when you went there, I had one of the beautiful training. I got trained by Professor Reeves on the encephalitis, on K.F. Meyer, on zoonotic diseases, Fred Soper, and Louis Hackett on malaria. On my return, they said, no, don't return. You go to Egypt and study ticks. In the Naval Medical Research Unit, ticks, he said. This was like that. Ultimately, all this became useful when KFD broke out. I was working in Akivudu after Japanese encephalitis and all that. I got a 8-page telegram giving the route. Proceed such and such day. These follow this route. Those Rockefeller Foundation, they have plenty of money, you know. They don't bicker about all those things. You go there, hand over charge to the mission hospital in Akivudu, lock everything there in their room. You proceed there, wait for further instructions. Within 24 hours, I reached that place. Monkeys were dying. At that time, the only disease where monkeys died and man also died was yellow fever. So immediately everybody thought the yellow fever has broken out. And immediately the work started. Everybody said, previously there was a worry about why yellow fever is not in India. That is a big question. Because you have got yellow fever mosquito is there. Yellow fever mosquito is there. That is Aedes aegypti is there. The monkeys are there, but no yellow fever. That is another theory why yellow fever did not come. After we started collecting mosquitoes and all that, we were all given yellow fever vaccine. And before giving yellow fever vaccine, they took the pre-vaccination sera sample to see the conversion. And within a week, 3 of the mosquito collectors fell sick with KFD. They were bitten by ticks. Then immediately their blood sample were sent to New York Rockefeller Foundation virus laboratory. They said it is Russian spring summer encephalitis. RSSC complex. RSSC complex is transmitted by ticks. Suddenly we gave up the idea of mosquitoes, started working on ticks. I am one of the authorities on ticks even now in India, but now I am 93, old after retirement, all those things over. But the way I was treated encouraged me research mindedness. Even now, if you see one of my biographies, Japanese encephalitis, Kaishnur forest disease, malaria. Then I was in the genetic control of mosquitoes. There are lots of problems were there. And then I went to Pondicherry, established the virus vector control research center. I founded it. I was the first director also. I used all my knowledge with the full confidence. I will be backed by my director general. Nowadays, nobody can get any kind of an assurance. Unlimited amount of money, whatever you wanted. I organized better. Within 2 years, I got the building constructed, a brand new building. I constructed within 2 years by the CPWD for the money. And I had a full choice of selecting the people. And I had very brilliant assistants. They are very grateful for them. We did a lot of work. Until 1990, when I retired, when I am 60, I retired. And then I was appointed as a scientific advisory committee member for many institutes. I used to travel. After retirement, another director came, my own assistant became director. We had a very good sort of. And then I was free. I was no longer a government servant. And then I wrote critical articles. About 15 of them were published in the Frontline. Very critical. And another 15 or 20 published in the Journal of Communicable Diseases. Because no government journal will publish them because they are highly critical of the government stand. And I was telling them about the lack of field work, all those things. Now everybody is saying lack of field work. Where is the field work? It's all gone. See, these were all very interesting for me. Dr. Work said, even for sending me to America, I went to the top of a tree to bring down a sick monkey, brought it down, I did autopsy, and out of that, organs virus was isolated. Dr. Work said, you are going to America, go and get married, because we will send the wife also. Where else you can get all this? Where can you get such boss? What a pleasure to work. I have written a lot of papers praising the Rockefeller Foundation and all that. I don't know whether you got a copy of those papers or something like that. Most of them. This is how it is. The greatest challenge was a person who comes, a new scientist who comes, he must be given full facilities and some assurance regarding his future. Nowadays, what happens? A new fellow comes, he joins, he first wants to make himself permanent. He's not sure of his job. So he will butter up within 1 year, as soon as the probation is over. Okay, once the probation period is over, then he will apply for housing loan. He will apply for that loan, that loan. Is all getting money only? Nobody is interested in all these things. The science is not interested in all these things. You see, that is how the research is. My work has been appreciated all over. I got many 18 or so lifetime achievement awards. In Hyderabad on 12th, 13th, and 14th. They have sent me their institute also. I don't know, I had sent you that. There was All India Association on Medical Arthropodology and Public Health at Osmania University, in the same building where Sir Ronald Ross discovered the mosquito transmission of malaria. You see, so there was a great organization. They have sent me all the papers by registered post after 14th. I have not got it, but all the things I got on my, it's all in my computer. It is all there. This is how, in short, I think. I have been asked to give many lectures, but now I am too old, sick. I am left ear completely out, right ear 10% are only it is working. I tried the earphone, none of them are suiting me. My wife is very sick, so I don't go anywhere. But my brain is still working, and I write a lot of articles even now. Only a few days back, I sent another paper to Journal Communicable Diseases. It is called Viruses Jumping Hose. You see, they don't jump. What happens? Because of the reservoir status, they are not willing to go and study. The KFD is a thing on which I became very famous. KFD, the bats are involved. So when you say to study bats, they go nearby. There are two types of bats: the fruit-eating bats, and then insect-eating bats. Megachiroptera, Microchiroptera. I don't know whether you are a biologist, you can understand these things. Microchiroptera are in the jungle, not on trees hanging. These people go and catch a number of bats. You see, Yatha Raja Tada Praja. The Rajas are also duffers. I should not call that to use the word. The director should know something about it. He himself doesn't know.
Yes.
So how can this fellow teach him? And they publish it. And nowadays, the computer and the air-conditioned room have replaced field work. Nobody wants to go to field. They want to go more as a safari research. Yeah. One example I will tell you. About 10 years ago, when we said in Wayanad district, in Kerala, KFD broke out. There was a KFD. So one of the research institutes, I don't want to name, I was an advisor there. I went there. So we will open a field station. Where do you open a field station? Uttakamand. Uttakamand is a hill station. Now, one of the major institute, the National Institute of Virology, they have opened a zoonosis laboratory in Nagpur. In Nagpur, other than oranges, there is nothing else. You must go to Agumbe Ghat, the Western Ghat ranges. You must go there. What is happening? There are so many species of ticks are involved. Hemaphysalis is one genus. I don't want to discuss it. It is all in the literature. All those things. But the bats are infested with Ornithodoros. That's an orgastic tick. And this tick has got a lifespan, adult test lifespan about 3 to 4 years. And it retains the virus. This itself is a reservoir.
Yes.
You follow me? And that, and which is closely associated with the bats, it gives the best. The bat life cycle itself is different. The Ornithodoros ticks, this is the only genus where there are 3 or 4 nymphal stages. The Hemaphysalis is the human vector. It has got only one nymphal stage. The larva gets feed from an animal, gets a virus, becomes nymph, bites man, man gets the disease. Bites monkey, monkey gets the disease. Here, 3 or 4 nymphal stages or instars are there. And you can imagine the complications it can cause. And the longevity. I have been trying my level best to install from it. But nobody wants to answer because all the research institutes I have tried. ICMR, it does not have a director general now. It is all, last director general was a cardiologist instead of communicable diseases. Dr. Bhargava is a well-known cardiologist. You can't blame me. Then, who are the advisors? Everybody they wants air-conditioned room, want to study immunology, you see, and the virus itself, the mosquito itself, each leg has got how many hairs. This is what has ruined our country. The field work is gone. I am being praised by many, even now they write, please do, please do. How can I do? With my wife like this, with me 93, all kinds of problems I have got. Eyesight is weak. Somehow chalta hai. Anyway, suddenly ask Adayek, and they were all under me. They were all working under me. And I used to tell about my mosquitoes also. Mosquitoes, I eradicated the tribal malaria from Koraput. Because how people get malaria there, that mosquito Anopheles fluviatile is exophilic. Exophilic means they rest outdoors. Exophagic, they feed outdoors. Here you sit here and use mosquito net, mosquito. They don't go. And do you know how they get bitten? Very interesting. Early morning, the men and women, all tribals, they go to the forest for defecation. Mosquitoes bite them at that time. Transmit malaria. I found out, I published a paper on that. This is how they get transmitted. Instead of spraying inside DDT, how do I do? You see, and I discovered Plasmodium ovale. It's old for their presence I discovered in Odisha. All the four varieties, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, they are all found there. And not our kind of tribal area. And you know what happened? When I was working in the Bonda Hill tribal area, we were doing so much work which somehow the official did not like. I was expelled from that forest in the Bonda tribal area as unwanted person. This is it. But my boss said nothing doing. He will be there. My boss is American boss, Rockefeller Foundation. If it was Indian fellow, he said he would have dismissed me also in that time. These are very tragic things, I immensely enjoyed my American training. Master of Public Health. I stayed another 6 months there with all kinds of things. It was a rich experience. My God.
Sir, coming back to your words, when you enjoyed so much of the training of America and American training, you had an opportunity to stay there. Still, you chose to serve the country, to dissect the diseases which nobody was ready to work, to do all the field work and collecting all those mosquitoes. And I know that you also got KFD. Like, from where you got all this passion for research?
This is because the Rockefeller Foundation. When I was working with KFD, I had one Dr. Boshel Mandrik. He used to go with a machete and I behind him with a 12-bore shotgun to collect specimens. We studied the population of rodents, different varieties of population. I have published more than 200 papers while in service on all these subjects. Which nobody can do it. They are all out of field work. I returned from America because I had to. I was on a bond. You see. And then I had also my domestic problem. My old mother was there. So I came there. But I enjoyed every day of my work in India because I was supported by my director. The Director General, there were 3 brilliant Directors General, Dr. C. Gopalan, then Dr. V. Ramalingaswamy, then Dr. J.S. Paintil. After that, sudden drop. All useless people.
So, sir, when you said that you had that backup of your directors, you had the
Not
great
thought.
training.
I
Yeah,
had.
yeah. So you had the great training. When you were a director,
Hmm.
how do you say that you have trained the generation? Because I can understand that even your trained generation is now retired,
They are
probably
retired
the
now.
two of them.
They are retired. Many scientists, Dr. Das, Dr. Balraman, you see, Dr. Kalyan Sundaram, there are my second rank,
Mm-hmm.
number one, second rank, third rank,
Mm-hmm.
different varieties. Until the third rank also all on merit.
Mm-hmm.
No influence or anything like that. I have even sacked a fellow
Mm-hmm.
immediately after appointment. I came to know he was recommended by the Chief Minister of Pondicherry, one
Okay.
Farooq Marekar. I said, I called that appointment order and told it. What I used to do is, after the interview, the appointment order is immediately typed, signed, and given. And that the Chief Minister thanks me for appointing him. Oh, thank you very much. I called this fellow, called him. That ethics were there.
Mm-hmm.
Ethics. But now I don't want to comment also. All
Uh-huh.
kinds of show business, so many things are going on. I wish them all luck. And also, they don't also have the support which I had from
Mm-hmm.
the Director General, financial things, ethical clearance. You know, you cannot use an animal for an experimental purpose. They say medical ethics are there, veterinary ethics are there, all kinds of lots of things. Biological research is virtually zero. See, a big institute like National Institute of Malaria Research,
Mm-hmm.
formerly, as long as VP Sharma was there, that Dr. VP Sharma, I don't know whether you know about Dr. VP
Yeah.
Sharma. Excellent work he did there. After that, it's all gone. His son became director. He also has left. Now there is no director. Most of the institutes are like that. It's tragic. That is why I study a lot. I write a lot of papers. Very critical. If you want, I can send you some of those critical papers. I don't know if you have read it.
I have that.
You read it. The latest one I have sent it is KFD, present state of knowledge. I wrote a paper in which armchair epidemiologist is controlling all these things. I have written. And I
Mm-hmm.
pointed out, they are published.
Mm-hmm.
You sit in the armchair and you theorize, not from the field.
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow my
Yes.
point?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
So, sir, here I want to ask that you have done all the field work. You know,
yes,
you have seen the shift of uh, work in the laboratory and how now it is way more, nourished, and the maximum amount of research is happening in there. And as you clearly mentioned that there is lack of entomologists, lack of
yeah.
field biologists. What should you suggest that we in India can do something to get this race back?
You see, we are in India, many people are even often misguided by World Health Organization. There used to be a medical entomology division in the World Health Organization. Norman Gratz, Dr. Rishikesh, Dr. Pant, even our own Indians, they did a lot of work. Suddenly, they went for molecular epidemiology. Why molecular epidemiology? Manufacturing drugs. They don't know even how things are happening before they want to decide they want to drugs. And they changed it as Division of Molecular Entomology. They, they did molecular entomology. Immediately, the Southeast Asia regional office said, we don't need any medical entomology. No jobs. And all the universities in India They closed down entomology sections. You find out now it is only life sciences,
Yes.
not entomology. You have got entomology laboratory, life sciences. Every university you take, they have ruined completely. You see, WHO itself is responsible.
So, sir, when you started the first master's in entomology course at VCRC, which is probably one of the only place where people can do entomology training by that.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yes, when you started that course, what was the vision at that? And now when you see that course running, how do you feel about it?
As I told you, I had the full support of my director generals as long as I was in service. When I made this proposal, there are no proper medical entomologists in India. I want to start this course. And WHO made some financial assistance also. Dr. Paintel was the director general. He said, yes, go ahead and do it. And we were giving even 800 rupees a month stipend to every student. Can you imagine an MSc student getting 800 rupees in those days, 30 years back? And 50% of their work is in the field. Lessons are in the field. I used to invite lecturers from abroad. WHO used to pay for them. But what happened? Those students who took MSc medical entomology, they could not get job because the ICMR has not asked the Union Public Service Commission and other recruiting bodies to include MSc medical entomology as one of the qualifications. They want all the thing, MSc zoology, MSc zoology. Then this was about to be closed. But fortunately, it was not closed. After a 2-year gap, it was started again with the name of MSc in Public Health Entomology. Now it is coming up in a big way. We see, it is not, we want veterinarians instead of medical people. You know why? Veterinarian, when he treats the animal, he doesn't ask the cow, hey, kaisa hai? How are you? Are you all right? What is it, fever? He feels it from the symptoms.
Yes.
That's it. Even for entomology, we need that. For field work, we want veterinarians. I started many veterinarians in the medical entomology course. They are all doing very well. Now they are realizing. Because everywhere now, zoonosis has come to the top. I started it. I studied zoonosis under K.F. Meyer. K.F. Meyer was an MD, medicine, DVM, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, and a DSc, Science. Where can you get such a person? He was Hooper Foundation for Medical Research in San Francisco, an expert on plague. I was there for 6 months. All this training was given by Dr. Varki Sadi. He prescribed my program. You study this, you study this, you study this. A good stipend was there. I do all those things. I could not have become anything other than scientist after this training. I was unfit for any other profession.
At this age, with this passion, I would like to tell all the audience and viewers here that passion for research in Professor Rajagopalan at 93 is way more than probably what we carry for. And this is something, you are our powerhouse from where we can get small charges and do whatever we can. Sir, you discussed about all the passion with all the good things about. Were there significant challenges also when you were doing research and now when you see researchers facing those challenges? If you can speak about the challenges faced by you or by the present researchers.
You see, if you take, I am competent to speak only on virus diseases. So I'll speak about viruses. You have many viruses. Very recently, about a fortnight ago, they found one case of Zika virus. You see, yellow fever is knocking at our doors anytime it can come. So far, no human case has occurred. You must find out what is the reservoir. You see, if you take the Western Ghats, so far, this KFD virus, it has occurred only along the Western Ghats. Why Western Ghats? Because that is where the animals are there. You have got many cycles of the virus. The epidemic cycle is tick, monkey, man. But where does the tick get the virus? The tick gets the virus from small mammals and shrews. Among these also, some of the animals circulate much higher titers. And some of them are hosts only for adults of Ixodes. So Ixodes adults are vectors. They are also reservoirs, but their lifespan is less. Ultimately, 1969, I published a paper on the bats, on the Rhinolophus rauxi. I can send you any of these papers. They are all in the literature. Right? And you go in abandoned well, they are all there. I put a mist net, caught hold of them, took blood sample and all those things, found ticks attached. It is not the MFI tick, it's not Ixodes. It is the ornithopterus tick, which is in African sleeping sickness. They have found ticks infected for 3 years at a stretch. An adult tick harbors the virus for 3 years in African sleeping sickness. It has got that capacity. Just 10 days back, this conference in Hyderabad, for example, I wrote to the chief, please, I told them, please, I will give you the guidance. I will give you all the story. Start colonizing ornithodorus. They have not colonized ornithodorus ticks in India. I have been harping on that. My own institute, my old institute, Vector Control Research Center, Pondicherry, they themselves have not answered me.
This is something what in India we call like, if you have the chair, you have the power. But one thing which is more than evident and no one can put a brake on about your research. And as you said, even if there are so many things, the brain, the researcher's brain is active, doesn't matter it is 100 years or whatever, because the idea. Sir, I want to ask you one question about the discovery of all these diseases. When you are dissecting,
what is it?
When you are dissecting a disease to understand,
yes,
that, as you explained about the reservoirs and all that, when a present researcher tries to overcome with a new infection, a new disease, how they should start or how they should approach to understand a disease which was never there or which came just for the first time?
You see, if it's an old disease like AFD, you go to a place where you are investigating, it's already everything is known, how it transmits and all that. But most often, investigation of a disease of unknown etiology.
Yes.
I have produced PowerPoint presentation slides. Wherever I go, I give them, they show them there. If you're unknown etiology, you get even infected. Yes. For example, I suffered from KFD. I lost my eyesight because of that. I was three months in the bed. And I was in Sagar. You see. But the Rockefeller Foundation said 3 months of holiday, that's your convalescence. We pay everything. And they sent an escort to look after me. That kind of an attention you could get only where really science is involved. You see, nowadays it's not publication of paper. Publish a paper. What publish a paper? It's worth only for as a toilet paper. That paper is no good. You see, what is there in that paper? Huh? You got a impact factor. What impact? Impact on whom? One fellow says, modern epidemiology of KFD is a published paper. I said, what is modern about it? I asked him. You have not found out. You have got a, what is the true reservoir? Other than my back work in 1969, that's how many years? That's up. You see, it's nearly 60 years back.
True.
Nobody has done. They will go to a fruit-eating bat, a Rosetter nationality, one of those hanging big flying foxes. They don't go in contact with any insect. Or there is a Nipah virus in Kerala.
Yes.
Well, Kerala. You see, they said bat has transmitted the virus. How? Bat fruits. They are not bat, that Rosetter nationality. That bats, not bat, the bats, they're fruits. The fruits, after eating, it has been wrong. They forget one thing. Virus is intracellular. It is not like bacteria. The moment that cell is dead, the virus is also dead. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
So immediately the bat circulates the virus, but if anybody eats the fruit, which is freshly eaten by the bat, then only he will get the virus. Otherwise not. I have published. Nobody will answer. I have got some letter I can send you. For 20 years, the NIV, National Institute of Virology, they stopped all work on rodents and shrews. They are the key in KFD. High titers of virus, quick turnover, the animals. You see, every 6 months there is a turnover of the population. And in between the ticks are playing the mischief. So this, everything I have written very nicely, all this in the common man's language, they are not research because I don't have any. I am an old man, retired, and I will not be given any facilities. But through internet, all this I get the data from different places and I write. Fortunately, Frontline, because it is more semi-scientific popular articles, they will publish it. In the Journal of Communicable Diseases from Delhi, we have got a nice report now. Any paper I send, they immediately publish in the next, but that is quarterly. Whereas Frontline is quarterly, means every 3 months once. This is fortnightly. Frontline. I can get much quicker publication. They write to me and ask me, COVID virus, I have written. They asked me what is the role of the bats. I gave them the story of the bat woman in China. They did not know about it. You see, it is from the bats' flesh being eaten. And the domestic market for wild animals are there. All animals eating them, they get all this virus. In fact, I even suspect quite a lot of these virus cases might have been even transplanted by Chinese as a part of the biological warfare. But nobody there to investigate all these things. So, $1 billion question. There are many American scientists who have done excellent work. Excellent work. Australians have done excellent work on bats. Very, very nice work. In India, unfortunately, except probably your space research. They are doing a lot of good work. They're spending recently satellites and all kinds of business. But otherwise, even malaria, if you take, they have got many organizations, but they are no people. They have got many diseases which are camouflaged by malaria. Many diseases are camouflaged by dengue. Dengue case will be there. He finds a cumbersome disease. Oh, it is malaria. That can be.
So this yes, sir. Sorry. This brings us to next question. That your view on present scenario of research in India.
It has to improve. There is no question about it. Ours is a great country once upon a time. In fact, the first positive research was done by India in plague. The Plague Commission. That the fleas, the esophageal transmission was discovered in India. Malaria transmission was discovered in India. Ronald was working in Army Hospital in Hyderabad. The KFD work, lots of work was done in India.
Yes.
Dengue, lot of work has been done, but now it's all gone. Most of the scientific posts are not filled these days. They have got all kinds of, you see, and all wrong policies of the government, you see. You see, one of the stupid things they did was, a medical man, when does he go for research? As soon as he passes MBBS, he will pass MBBS first. He will, as an example, telling you, he will go for medicine. Medicine mein nahi mila to, or sorry, if you understand India.
Yes, sir.
He doesn't get medicine. Surgery. Surgery he doesn't get. Pediatrics. Pediatrics nahi mila. MBBS तो मिलना ही चाहिए ना, MBBS लेना चाहिए.
Yes.
ले लो, anatomy सबको मिल जाएगा. वो भी नहीं मिला तो जाके रिसर्च में ज्वाइन करो. You join research. Now, MBBS in a majority of the cases, there are many brilliant fellows also are there. He goes into research as a last resort. For livelihood, and the government suddenly decided, if he had not joined research, he would have practiced. Because he could not practice, he had joined research. He must be given a non-practicing allowance. Can you believe it? For the first time, only in India.
That is true, sir. That is sad, actually. That is sad, but these are the policies which you are way more aware than anyone else in the country presently. So keeping the conversation as research-based, few words about, as you mentioned, about your directors, your director generals, your training at America, the family and friends, how they supported you and what was their role?
You see, things have to change, for which our priorities have to change for the government policies. We ask our government, the Prime Minister is doing a lot of good things. What is your priority? He doesn't say medical research is my priority. He has got other priorities. Many good priorities are there. Our border problem is there. Our food problem is there. So many things are there. But within the budget, in the ministry, they have got a Director General of Health Services. He should decide. You see, it's not there. There is a National Center for Disease Control in Delhi. It's all full of red tape. Then there is a National Center for Vector-Borne Diseases and their control. Formerly it used to be NMEP, all those run. They have no personnel. They said, we'll give you a medical man. We will not give you an entomologist. Which medical man is interested in collecting mosquitoes?
Yeah, true.
There is a wrong attitude of it. And the retirement age is bad because every fellow who attains to 60 should not be retired. If he's still interested, if he's still productive, he must be continued. Here it is not like that. Moment 60, retire, job. You see, they got other problems too. See, they got other problems to consider. But our planning, it has been able to do. But on the whole, considering many countries, India has done a very good job in every field. You have to say that. Even universities, all those things. But the way things happen at the lower level, it is not a good augury for our country.
You have served in so many industries, in so many boards as a supervisor, as an authority on infectious disease, on vector control diseases. How do you see things going in future for India?
Very difficult. You see, the Rockefeller Foundation, their International Health Division, they did the greatest thing on malaria control. The first Aedes aegypti control by Walter Reed, Army Institute of Medical, Walter Reed. His name is been adopted like that. It was all done by Rockefeller Foundation. The great Philippines Malaria Control International Health Division formed by Rockefeller Foundation. They absorbed all these great people, Louis Hackett, Fred Soper, all those people. For them, the condition they give is, you go on doing the work, don't worry about your family, that we will take care. You understand my point?
Yes, sir.
It was a very comfortable job. But I don't know what happened. Now even the Rockefeller Foundation has withdrawn from this completely. There is no issue. Then our, what's his name? The man who divorced his wife, foundation. What is it?
Bill Gates?
Huh?
Bill Gates?
Bill Gates. Gates Foundation.
He has done a lot of work. You see, he has done a lot of work. Medical Foundation, he has done a lot of work. Just like Rockefeller Foundation. It is there. It is my little tongue of the tip of
Gates Foundation.
Huh?
Gates Foundation.
Yes, Gates Foundation. You see, Gates and Mrs. Gates, they are jointly the Gates Foundation. Remarkable work they have done. Rockefeller Foundation Industries, they made the money on oil. They did the remarkable work. Ford Foundation, the remarkable work they have done on agriculture. Most of the agricultural research work, the top price should go to. Now, you take, for example, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. He is about 2-3 years older than me. He has gone, I know him very well. Once in a while, I used to go when I was a little younger and meet him like that. He has done so much of work. But why they are not becoming popular? Because the government doesn't back him. He has invested all the prize money he has got on that. But that is not enough. He's a great man, very great scientist. Fortunately, he's still alive and still working.
Yeah.
He is the type of person you must investigate. Put him in all these things. M.S. Swaminathan.
Yes. So,
Martian base.
So this is exactly what we are trying to do with Researcher Celebrity, powered by Empowering Science Foundation, to acknowledge and to celebrate our researchers. Because as you mentioned, that there is small disconnect that researchers are not acknowledged for their efforts. The world knows about Professor Rajagopalan. World knows about your contribution in KFD, but still so many of our researchers don't have, don't know about your special contribution to it. And this is our small token to put forward the words of yours. And as in Indian mythology, they always say that these words, whatever you have spoken, are in their universe now and will be there in universe for so many centuries and forever. So we want you, your passion to be in Indian researchers forever and forever and ever. With this, we would like to say, sir, it was a pleasure to have you on this platform. We wish and we pray for you being a sanitarian, and then again once have this pleasure to have this conversation with you once again. And with this, I would like to tell all the audience and viewers, please pray for Professor Rajagopalan for his health and and do learn from his passion, that what it takes to be a researcher. And once you are a researcher, you can never take break from research, as Professor Rajagopalan at 93 is still publishing, is trying to share as much as he got with all of us. Thank you very much, sir, and I wish you all the good health.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It was very nice talking to you. Whatever I could, I can send you all my papers also by which you would like. Some of them are very pungent.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
But nobody reads them. You see, the thing is,